Hello, everybody. Looks like we got two of us in here, so we'll wait a few more minutes before we, basically get started here. So, welcome, and I hope you get ready because we're about to take it to the mic stand. Um, so, how's everybody doing tonight? Anybody got anything? I know there's one. Looks like there's one other person in here, so I wonder if you got anything to say. Want to say hello or what have you? Let me know who's in here. Oh, I'm good. Hey, TC. Good seeing you, man. You were in and out a bit last night. And I've got a third person in here. That's cool. Start to get more people in here. Hopefully, everybody's had a good day today. How'd your day go, guys? Hey, Woody. How you doing, man? Let's see what you have to say here. We're number two. We try harder. Number two. What do you mean, number two of the night, or yeah, household gets wild around bedtime. Yeah, well, actually, your kids should. I guess your daughter would still be up, but wouldn't your kids already? I mean, it's what like 10 o'clock where you're at, so or just past 10 o'clock. Wouldn't your two younger ones already be in bed? I figure your daughter might still be up. Hey, Woody. Yeah, so three people right at the beginning. That's a good start here. Hopefully, we can get some more people in here. Um, excuse me a moment while I go off camera. Take care of something real quick. See, no school, so bedtimes are lax. Ah, okay. So basically, since the kids don't actually have to get up to go to school, um, therefore they don't need to get to bed as early. Is that the case there, ATC? Hmm. Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because I know there's a bit of an interesting story I came across earlier today. Obviously, this isn't as much about niche. This is more real world stuff. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I was watching one of the guys I watch who's more of a political commentator by the name of Anthony Brian Logan. He was reporting on something earlier today. So apparently there was this high school student um in Maine. Now you guys aren't going to believe this. She apparently got kicked out of her Zoom math class because she had a Trump flag in the background in her room, mind you. Okay. Her teacher basically asked her to take it down, and she said no because it's her room, it's her private property. So the teacher just simply kicked her out of the room. And we have a fourth person. Hello, fourth person. How are you doing tonight? And he had reported on a couple other things too. Like there was a kid in Colorado and a kid in Louisiana who both got suspended um, from school because, in the case of the kid in Colorado, he had a toy gun in his room, and in the case of the kid in Louisiana, he had a BB gun in his room. So Howdy, all. Just woke up from a nap, still groggy. Well, hey, it's still good to see you, though, Dave. I'm sure you'll wake up soon enough. But yeah. So, I mean, I would think that if schools are going to try to pull this baloney here in the states, maybe parents ought to start considering doing some, homeschooling. You know, because schools have no right to tell your child what they can and can't. Short of anything like illegal or outright illegal or obscene. You know, I mean, yeah, some standards should be set, but still, if you have a different opinion than your teacher, it's still your room. So, anyways, let's see what you guys have to say about it. Whereas a Che Guevara portrait on velvet would be just fine. Yeah, for a lot of the educators out there, that would be the case there, Woody, because we all know how liberal and quote unquote progressive the education here in the states is. Yeah, a few states have decided that during classes the school property extends to your home. It's absolutely stupid. Yeah, as I said, I feel like it may be a good time to just start doing homeschooling. I don't know how it's well. Oh, I got a vid to pop. Yay! I got a vid to pop. Yay! Yeah, I don't know how it is up there in Canada, ATC. If the teachers up there are pulling the same. Well, I don't know if you guys have the same constitutional protections though that we do here in terms of right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So yeah, we got four people in here now. So yeah, so we're that's a good start. Okay, so maybe at the 10-minute mark, since we have a few people in here, maybe at the 10-minute mark, I'll start everything up. Excuse me a moment while I go off screen for a moment. So, Dave, Woody, how'd your days go today? Guys have anything interesting happen today? Dave, I know you said you just took a nap. You just got up from a nap. Che Guevara used AK-47s to drive immigrants out of Venezuela as a measure to ensure work for verifiable citizens. They turn a blind eye to that, though. Yeah, it's kind of funny because a little self projection. That's basically what they think Donald Trump is doing by building a wall at the southern border. You know, I'm sure though there are some Americans who think we should do that, but you know, but anyways, um, I'll be right back again. Sorry. Uh, let's see what you guys have. Well, I do have a lady friend who cooks me breakfast sometimes. So my day has some home cook. Man, don't we all? Well, I know Action Toy Channel does, but I'm sure there's some of us on here who wish we had a lady friend like that. Huh? How about all I know is that USA's crazy identity politics isn't nowhere near as insane. Laugh out loud. If a teacher kicks a student, they need a better reason than a flag. Hmm. Yeah, as I said, I think it's a good time to start advocating for homeschooling. That teacher would have been fired and banned from the district. Is that up in Canada there? Are you saying that up in Canada they actually wouldn't put up with that up there in Canada? So they do have those protections up in Canada. Is that what you're saying, ATC? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're now at the 11-minute mark here. Oh, we got a fifth person. Hello, fifth person. How are you doing today? And who is? I wonder who has joined us now. We have 5 people in here now, guys. And of course, as I always let you guys, or try to let you guys know as much, I always appreciate any likes and shares you guys have to help me, see if we can get some more people in here to join in on the discussion. Um, so if you guys can, I'd appreciate that as well. And we drop back down to 4, of course. As soon as I say hi to the fifth person, they duck out again. Oh boy. Um, all right. So yeah. So coming up on 12 minutes now. So I guess it'd be we have 4 of us in here. So I guess it would be a good time to get started on the. So here's what's on tap for tonight. I have a couple of news items. One is talking about Grant Morrison and how he said that he's got like making some announcement on his Doctor Who work, in which he's got a whole season planned out apparently. And also, I've got some Toonami news. I don't know if anybody here watches Toonami or not, but I still put it out there just in case. Um, so, without no further ado, let's get started on these 2 news items here. So, let's see. Like, oh wait, I think I already read that, right? Yeah, I already read that. Yeah, because okay. So let's see. Anything else yet? Nope. Okay, still 4 people. Okay, so here we go with the first of 2 news stories tonight. Acclaimed comic book creator Grant Morrison reveals he has a whole season of Doctor Who worked out. And then I guess here is some of the comic art from the Doctor Who comic. I guess Grant Morrison's the one doing the Doctor Who comic. Grant Morrison's Doctor Who comic on IDW. So here we go. Acclaimed comic book writer Grant Morrison, who had iconic runs on Animal Man and Doom Patrol at DC Comics as well as New X-Men at Marvel Comics, recently revealed he has a whole season of Doctor Who worked out. Apparently, it's for IDW. Issue number 1. Morrison made the revelation in an interview with Tech Radar, um, where he was asked about what TV shows he finds inspiring. First, he answered, I've always been a fan of television. Before I got into comics, I wanted to be a television dramatist, of all things, because I was so much a fan of Dennis Potter back in the day. So I came from that. He added, I loved all the stuff that was on British television in the 1970s and 80s. I thought it was really radical and progressive. And then I guess here's issue number 2 from IDW of Doctor Who, Grant Morrison's Doctor Who. There's a man with a knife and a kilt right there on the far right, the penguin. Okay, from there, he revealed his appreciation for Doctor Who. And in more recent times, I've always loved Doctor Who, and I particularly loved when Stephen Moffat was writing Doctor Who. Okay, let's see if we have anything new here thus far. Nope, no new comments. Okay, right, moving on then. Okay, because again, he's a very he's a very miraculous writer who constructs these beautiful puzzle boxes of plot. More recently, I really loved Michael Cole's, spelled Coel, not to be confused with the WWE announcer who spells it Cole. I May Destroy You, um, which to me was up there with Potter as some of the best stuff I think I've ever seen in television for a long time. He continued. Um, I'll show you guys, let you guys see some of the artwork here. Ish. I don't know why I'm asking you. You're almost, you're almost as old and useless as I am. Maybe it's time to go home for good. Morrison then revealed he has an entire season of Doctor Who worked out. He explained, well, it kind of did happen. I did pitch a couple, but it didn't work out. One of these days, I've got a whole season worked out, so I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Um, Interestingly enough, Morrison has written for Doctor Who before, albeit for Doctor Who magazine. Back in 1986, Morrison wrote three Sixth Doctor stories titled Changes and The World Shapers. I guess this is a Doctor Who magazine. They're talking about extra colored pages. Look at that. That's some interesting artwork right there. Um, Number 227, August 1987. Be a devil, look in a long leak. Changes was published in Doctor Who magazine issues 118 and 119. The World Shapers would be printed in Doctor Who magazine 127 to 129. Um, he also wrote the Seventh Doctor story, Culture Shock. It was published in Doctor Who magazine 139 in 1988. A pound 25, I guess. Marvel US, $4.75. Canada $6.15. So it's $2. It's like it's $1.40 more in Canada. Okay. And a pound 25. Um, Time Lord's record to be won. Archives Warriors Gate. Mm. Some of the live action stuff here. Action. Kofi Alfred Ace interview. Okay, before see if anybody else got anything to say on that. Oh, look. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Doesn't look like any of us are diehard Hoovians. Yeah, well, there's a story though, Dave. That's the show can be okay, but it's definitely an acquired taste. Again, it's a news story. Put it out there for those who want it, whether they're seeing it now live or whether if they come back and watch the live stream, later. It's at least still out there for anybody who wants to hear about it. So let's see. All three stories would be reprinted by IDW in 2008 across two comic book issues titled Grant Morrison's Doctor Who. Um, would you want to see what Grant Morrison's Doctor Who season would look like? Do you think it might get the comic book treatment sometime in the future? So, even if you guys aren't Doctor Who fans, let me ask you this: are you Grant Morrison fans? Have you seen some? Like I have. Obviously, I don't read as many comics, but I'm not as aware. But how about you guys? Have you guys seen some of Grant Morrison's work? Would you be interested in checking this out because it's more due to the fact that it was Grant Morrison doing the writing here? Your thoughts? Right, I'm going to go off camera here for a moment. So even if you're not Doctor Who fans, would you consider checking it out because it's Grant Morrison's work? Maybe you guys are Grant Morrison fans, or maybe not. Just throwing it out there. I wait for you guys to respond to that. Gonna set up for the next story here. Uh, Excuse me, sorry about that. Mm. Let's see, and I gotta go off screen for just another moment here. Okay. It, yeah, I don't know if you were saying because I burped or because you probably don't have much to say on Doctor Who. I guess you guys don't have much to say on either Doctor Who or Grant Morrison, huh? Um, all right. Well, moving on then, since well, let's see. It looks like you guys uh, ATC. It looks like you said something here. Um, I've given up on anything Doctor Who. Okay, that's fair enough. I just threw it out there just for conversation purposes. Um, well, anyway, so let me get to this next piece of news. As I told you, I have some Toonami news for those who do watch Toonami. So starting this weekend, they're bringing Demon. One of the things they're doing is they're bringing Demon Slayer back. Starting this, I guess, for the next couple weeks at least, the lineup's going to be Dragon Ball Super, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Goblin Wind, Assassination Classroom, Black Clover, Fire Force, Naruto Shippuden, and Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. They're bringing Demon Slayer back in the, I guess, the 3 o'clock time slot. My guess is, of course, those are going to probably be reruns. But then again, it might be also be something. Let's see. Oh, apparently there's a new. Here, let's take a look at this. Because apparently, and here's a Toonami Facebook post. So here's what they have to say here. Um, Listen up for some lineup announcements to make way for Holy Kalamavote, a special performance of RTJ 4. The Toonami block is shifting back an hour on 10/17. No shows will be skipped that night except for Black Clover, which will return the following week, 10/24, when the block returns back to its usual time. Check out this full lineup below and prepare yourself for Toonami every Saturday night. So this is, I guess, the lineup for next Saturday, the 17th. I guess there's going to be the Holy Kalama. Now, from what I understand, this Holy Kalama Vote event is a get out the vote. Um, it's a get out the vote event. In other words, they're trying to get some of the Toonami fans to, to get registered to vote and all that. So it's a kind of a get out the vote thing. But then at 1 a.m. will be, of course, Dragon Ball Super. 1:30, JoJo's Goblin Win. Assassination Classroom on 2:30 Fire Force. Naruto Shippuden at 3, and then Demon Slayer at 3:30. And then everything kind of goes back to normal the following weekend. So this weekend will be the bottom lineup here. That'll be this weekend, the 10th, and then the one up here will be for the 17th and back to this one. So that's kind of the changes they have coming up for the next, I guess, at least 3 weeks. Now maybe on the 24th they may have some other stuff going on. I'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, on the 17th, Toonami is, once again getting political, of course. Um, but it's a get out the vote campaign. So that's what you have to look forward to. Um, so with that, that's a lot. That's pretty much the whole news right there. I don't know what's coming up, obviously, after the 24th, if there are some more changes, but basically, the new lineup, the new regular lineup, at least in the short term, is going to be Dragon Ball Super at midnight, followed by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Goblin Wind on it at 12:30, 1 o'clock Assassination Classroom, 1:30 a.m. Black Clover, Fire Force on at 2, Naruto Shippuden on at 2:30, and then Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba on at 3. With the exception, of course, October 17th, in which they're going to have the Kalama vote, get out the vote event. So that's what's going on Toonami. So with that, as I said, a couple of news items there. Toonami stuff I always seem to get through pretty quick, unfortunately. It's just programming information. And it looks like we lost somebody. I wonder if Toonami has public stats on their demographics, because I believe most of their viewers can't actually vote yet. Um, yeah, I don't know, because it is a little bit more tricky, because Um, I think about half of their demographic probably could actually, because I think the general idea is it's a late night anime block. Okay, it starts at midnight on Saturday night slash Sunday morning. Okay, so right now, it used to start at 10, but of course, with COVID going on, they cut the block back from, let's say, 6 hours to something like now 3.5. Okay, so even I think initially when Toonami became a late night block, well, and most of the animes they put on there are for those probably within the age demographic, I'd say, of between 15 and 25 is what I'd guess. So basically from high school up through like young adulthood. Basically, I think the main demographic. I mean, obviously, I've watched Toonami before. As an adult, I'm probably one of the few people who my age actually watches it. You know, but you don't have a lot of anime fans like my age. Maybe you guys in here, but who are like around my age, but in your 40s. But um, but I think the main demographic is 15 to 25. So about half of that probably could vote, and then there are probably others who are like 17 who are gonna be 18 who are just getting, they're trying to get registered as well. Oh, Toonami isn't what was when I was a kid. I had no idea. Well, yeah, probably when you watched Toonami back when you probably watched Toonami, back when it was on, then it was an afternoon, maybe afternoon, early evening block. It would usually be on. I think it start anytime between 4 and 6 o'clock. Back in the '90s and early 2000s when it was on, from '97 to 2007, it was an afternoon block. It was an after school block, so it would start anytime between 4 and 6, and run for 2 hours, a day, 5 days a week. So in that particular case, and you had Dragon Ball, you had all the Gundam series, you had Yu Yu Hakusho, you know, you had Sailor Moon. So at that time, the demographic for Toonami, because it was more of an afternoon block, probably was more junior high to high school. It was probably more like 12, 13 to 18. At the younger end, maybe 11, 12, 13, and at the older end, of course, 18, maybe 18, 19, 20, maybe early. But basically, it was probably like 13 to 18 was the demographic back when you were a kid, because it was done more during the day. But then since 2012, and since them bringing Toonami to to basically late night, I'd say it's more, because more of the anime have been, more risque. Like you've had Space Dandy on there. I mean, you've had Inuyasha. But now, granted, some of the shows that came onto the Toonami scene since it became a late night block were on Adult Swim before, like Inuyasha, Outlaw Star, um, Big O, Scried, Samurai Champloo, Paranoia Agent, all those were already on the late night block, but those were also geared more towards an older group, anyways. Hence the name Adult Swim per se. Okay, you know, so when Toonami became a late night block, I think the demographic did change from, let's say, 13 to 18 to 15 to 25. In other words, older high school kids to just out of college. You know, so they did have more mature. Um, yep. So I think the idea is with the call, Kalma vote event. It's to get more of those 18 to 25-year-olds to get registered and vote. And we all know that many in the Toonami community tend to lean to the left. And they want to get more of the kids vote because, as it stands now, particularly in many of the swing states, Republicans are out registering Democrats. Okay. And a lot of those registrations aren't from kids coming out of high school and registering Republican. A lot of those are like Democrats, are more like moderate Democrats who don't like what they're seeing coming from the hard left and changing party affiliations. So, again, not that I'm trying to get too much into politics here, but to kind of explain that. So basically, I feel like they're doing the Kalma vote thing. Excuse me for a moment. I go off screen here for a moment. Camera. But that's why I think they're doing the Kalma vote concert to try to get more people registered to vote. And I see we lost another person, but just kind of sucks. But anyways, yeah, but the demographic for Toonami has changed. It's, as I said, it's when a lot of people were watching it back in from '97 to 2007, it was an afternoon block, so it was probably more geared toward. Well, we got four people again, good. It was geared more towards the 13 to 18-year-old demographic. In other words, middle school, junior high to high school. Maybe some early college, but now that is a late night block. It's more like older high school, college age into early adulthood. So that's why the thing goes on. So, anyways, I know I've ran my mouth off on politics for quite a bit there. Not directly as much, but only due to the fact to talk about the event that they're doing. Is there anything else you guys want to ask me about? Since I kind of ran out of news items pretty quick here. Anything else you guys want to bring up or talk about? Um, in the world of niche. Give me a moment while I go off screen here. Actually, I just thought of something maybe I can ask you guys about and see what you have to say about this. Um, well, Dave, I know you said that you watched Toonami. Anybody else? Did anybody else watch Toonami during its run from '97 to 2007 when it was an afternoon block? And if you did, what was your favorite Toonami show? So I'll pose this question again. One, did you watch Toonami during its run during weekday afternoons of '97 to 2007? Did you watch it? And if you did watch it, what was your favorite Toonami show? Maybe we can talk about that a little bit. And I don't know, ATC, if you had Toonami up in Canada, you might have had something similar or similar on YTV, so you can comment on that as well. But you know, so if you guys did watch Toonami during the or any afternoon anime block that you may remember, because I know ATC, you're up in Canada, maybe you watched anime block of YTV. So if you did watch those blocks, what was your favorite anime that you guys watched on there? I'm gonna go off camera again for a moment. Sorry. Oh, it looks like somebody had something here. Okay, let's see. If you're hmm. uh, Toonami introduced me to Gundam through Gundam Wing. I'm forever grateful for that. Yeah, I've been like in my own individual, and I'll be off camera for just a moment here again. Um, hmm. Anyways, um, I recently on my own little personal block that I put together, I've been starting to go through the Gundam series. I'm right now, of course, towards the end of Mobile Fighter G Gundam. But I know a lot of the earlier Gundam series were actually seem to be voiced by um, Canada. I know Mobile Suit Gundam, the first Gundam series, was dubbed by Ocean Studios. Um, Brad Swale, who would also do, of course, Nightcrawler in X Men Evolution. I think it was Oba Nobunaga, I think, in Inuyasha. Um, he was the one who voiced Amuro Ray in Mobile Suit Gundam. And then I know Zeta Gundam and Mobile Fighter G Gundam were both dubbed by Blue Water. Um, so so yeah, that's interesting, Dave. Being forever grateful for being introduced to Gundam through Gundam Wing on Toonami. Does anybody else have any like Toonami memories they'd like to share? You guys watch Toonami, or as I said, in the case of in the case of ATC Action Toys Channel, I know you might have had some different blocks up in Canada on YTV. Um, Anybody else have any memories they'd like to share about like some of their favorite Toonami shows? Like one of the things for me that got me hooked on some of the Toonami programming um, was basically the bumper they would do with for Yu Yu Hakusho. I got I got introduced to Yu Yu Hakusho, which has become which has become basically my all time favorite anime through this bumper they would always have. They like let me see if I can remember. Let me see if I can remember exactly the narration of this particular bumper. Yeah, I can't remember the exact narration, but basically they show Yusuke middle of the road after he gets run down the first episode, something along the lines of, you know, now here is the hero of the series, but the ironic thing is he's dead. And I kept seeing that promo and seeing how that little promo bumper kind of played out. And I go, I want to check that out. And I started watching it, watching it on Toonami. Eventually did get the full DVD collection. Um, but Yu Hakusho probably I'd consider my all time favorite anime. It's a good story. It's not just about kicking butt, but I think there's a lot of good story elements in it as well. In terms of you know Yusuke's maturation through the series and some other Toonami shows that I've gone and watched after they went off Toonami. Like the Tenchi series. Roni Kenshin. Those are some good ones too. I didn't watch them on Toonami. I watched them later, but still, they ended up being pretty good too. So, does anybody else have any Toonami memories they want to share, or any kind of like, block programming memories? Um, let's see now. So, it looks like we got some. We already saw that. How about that? I'm just looking. I know ATC. I don't know if you had Toonami up in Canada or not, but I'm sure maybe you had an anime block on YTV that maybe you saw, that maybe you saw some of these shows on that. I wouldn't mind hearing if you had a particular favorite show from that block, and even letting us know what the name of that block was, if not Toonami. Um, just gonna throw this out there. I've been watching some old Sherlock alongside the Elementary reimagining this old Jeremy Brett guy is hilarious as Holmes. Yeah. Well, yeah, I do remember you were saying that you were watching some of the older Sherlock, like Sherlock of the 22nd century or something like that. Dave, I think. Yeah, but basically there were some cool shows on Toonami. I got into the Tenchi series because of it. Of course, as I said, Yu Yu Hakusho was my all-time favorite. You've got a lot of the Gundam series in there that you talked about, Dave. I'm actually surprised nobody had said anything about Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball, because those were also big franchises on Toonami for a while there as well. Surprised nobody said anything about those. Of course, I know a lot of people are critical of the Deke and Cloveway dubs of Sailor Moon due to the fact of them basically the editing issues there. But then again, they were trying to also target those more towards kids though too. Um, yeah, and of course, I do also know during that afternoon run, they would mix in animes with like state, basically what they call Western animation. You would also get like you'd get like Thundercats, Silverhawks on there. You'd get older DC comic cartoons in there, like the Adventures of like Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series, a lot of the DCAU earlier stuff um, during that time as well. I think Reboot was on as well there. Um, I know you got some of that too as well. So I think Hamtaro was part of Toonami. Yeah, I know, I remember that it was a part of it. Um, I never actually got around to watching Hamtaro, but actually, now that I think about it, hmm, no, I don't. I was starting to think that maybe Pokemon was part of Toonami too, but that may have been later though. Not sure though. Um, I don't know if that would have been the case because Pokemon was on the. It could have been. Um, let's see. We're already at 51 minutes, past 51-minute mark. Yeah, so we have five people in here right now. So um, if if you haven't spoken yet, if you haven't commented, you're more than always willing to hear from you. So if you want to add to the conversation, you're more than welcome to. You know, we're of course talking a bit about what whether it be Toonami or a similar block, depending upon where you're at. You know, what was your favorite anime from that time period? From that block. As I recall, too, there were some Adult Swim shows that were also had some brief runs on Toonami as well. Like I think Outlaw Star was on it for a little while. Well, I don't know if Trigun was. Let's see. I think Outlaw Star was. Um, but even back then, even on the Adult Swim block, they had a number of great animes going on their Adult Swim block as well. Outlaw Star, Big O. Um, Also, let's expand that too. If you had a favorite anime from the Adult Swim block as well, why don't you mention that too? Whether it be Inuyasha, Trigun, Samurai Champloo, uh, Paranoia Agent, Fooly Cooly, you know, Scried, Witch Hunter Robin. There's a lot of them out there. Let's see, ATC, you had something to say here. Laugh out loud. I didn't realize stream was on live. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a live stream. Ah, this is a live stream. I figured everybody knew that. Ah, yeah. Laugh out loud meant wasn't. Oh. Bebop for oh yeah, Cowboy Bebop, another one, another great one with a great music, with a great opening too. The opening that's very popular too, from the seatbelts. Um, that kind of um, kind of you know I can't even think of the term now. Like I know jazz is in there. Well, I guess bebop would be um, hipster times. Yeah. Well, right now we have three people talking in conversation here out of five. Again, another maybe a couple others who might be lurking. If you guys are more than free to add to the conversation. Da 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 da. Yeah, the Witch Hunter Robin opening was pretty cool. Um, Also, Wolf's Rain was was a pretty interesting anime as well, and the opening for that was actually pretty well. Stray, the it is jazz. Okay, thanks, Dave. Um, Stray, Stray. I think it's time we blow this thing, get everybody and their stuff together. It's three. All right, okay. Think it's time. Okay, think it's time we blow this thing, get everybody and their stuff together. Okay, three, two, one, let's jam. Da 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 da. What do you do? Go and look up the lyrics there, Dave? Mm, mm. Actually, another one of my all-time favorites that I kind of got hooked on from from the Adult Swim side of it was Dot Hack Sign. I got into that. It's kind of funny because Dot Hack Sign was actually, I guess, technically the anime that actually introduced me to the concept of anime. You know, kind of interesting because I was like flipping through the channels one night and I come upon it. I'm going, hmm, this looks interesting. And I start watching. I go, I want to watch more of this. And then I did, and then I started watching more of that and more anime altogether, and really got myself hooked. So, and then of course I had since watched many other versions of I've since seen like gone and watched Dot Hack, um, Dot Hack Twilight, Dot Hack Roots, and all that. So, and the music from there was also pretty cool. And have to look them up. They're That's literally all the lyrics. Oh yeah, it's no that's the lyrics, and then it's all instrumental the rest of the way. You got that cool jazz beat going on in the background, and I think that's again one of Bebop's more endearing qualities. Kind of that the jazz beat, kind of the older feel to it. Um, Kind of the dichotomy between the older feel of the music and then the whole um, space aspect of it. So that is kind of a cool deal there. Oh yeah. So now we're at 59 minutes and 13 seconds. So we're at least getting to an hour here. Um, oh, let's see. So I guess I can give a bit of. I think I told you guys too that I do have confirmed Knuckleheads coming at the end of the month on the 30th. So they'll be back with us. We'll be talking Halloween niche, of course. I'm still working on, so waiting to hear back on the situation for the 16th. So hopefully I'll know in the next couple of days here, hear back from some form or another. The guest I hope to have on the 16th. So stay tuned for that. Um, let's see. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything else you guys want to ask about or add to the conversation? Hmm. Hmm. Well, I guess it would seem you guys don't have much more to ask, huh? All right, so let's see. We're now just past the hour mark. Um, I did see that Tug is streaming right now too. Um, so what I was thinking, once we got past the hour mark, maybe I would wrap up here. If you guys are ready for this day in each history, um, let's see. Woody just said something here. Just fussing with some drawing programs here, but I am listening. All right. Well, that's good to know, Woody. But anyways, I know Tug is also streaming right now. So I was gonna see if you guys were ready for this day in each history. We'll wrap things up here. Then we'll do a mic raid over over to Tug stream. You guys want to do that? And shall we wrap this up with this day in each history, and then do a little bit of a mic raid on Tug stream? You guys want to help me do that here as soon as we're done here? What do you guys think? ATC saying, yay. I think he meant just for the this day in each history. So what do you guys think of the idea? We finish up here and then we do a mic raid on over on Tug stream. Alrighty then. Hopefully you guys did get all that. All right. Okay, so what happened today, as Dave asked? Here it is coming on the Streamlabs stream here. What happened today? Okay, so today is Tuesday, October 6th, 2020. So let's go ahead and I'm going back to sleep after this. Well, hopefully the rest of you will help me do a mic raid on Tug stream. So, anyways, so today being Tuesday, October 6th, 2020, let's take a look back at this day in each history. Let me just review real quick here some of the stuff so I know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so it looks like I'm ready to go then. Okay, so let's get going here. Um, so the first thing I'm going to do now, granted, isn't exactly a cartoon, but since it was kind of a Saturday morning thing, I'm including this. Um, First thing I'd like to do is wish Amy Jo Johnson, best known for a role as Kimberly Hart, the Pink Power Ranger on the first few seasons of Power Rangers. I'd like to, you guys, I don't know if you guys are going to believe this or not, but today, Amy Jo turns 50 years old. If any of you watched the Power Rangers back in the day, back in the 90s there, can you believe that Kimberly Hart, aka the Pink Ranger, is 50 years old today? The girl played her, Amy Jo Johnson is like 50 years old today. So I'd like to wish Amy Jo Johnson a happy 50th birthday. Of course, best known for a role as Kimberly Hart, the Pink Ranger on Power Rangers. A happy birthday, Kimberly. Even if you probably don't know, I'm wishing you a happy birthday. But anyways, moving on then to the next bit of news or history here. Next thing, we're going to jump ahead 10 years to 1980. On this day in 1980, which was 40 years ago today, it was 40 years ago today. On this day in 1980, Rip Oliver and Fidel Cortez won the vacant NWA Canadian tag team titles, the Vancouver versions, in a tournament final against Al Tomko and Mike Popovich um, in a tournament final for Vancouver All Star Wrestling. So on this date in 1980, Rip Oliver and Fidel Cortez won the vacant NWA Canadian tag team titles, the Vancouver versions of those titles, against Al Tomko and Mike Popovich in Vancouver in a tournament final. Um, so moving on then, on to the next piece of history. Um, let's see. And this one, particularly for some of you who grew up around this time, this may be more up your alley. On this day in the year 2000, um, Digimon the movie premiered. On this day in 2000, Digimon the movie premiered. Um, Basically produced by Fox Kids, Saban Entertainment, and Toei Animation. Ran in, of course, some of the English voice talents that lent their voice include Lara Jill Miller and Joshua Seth. Lara Jill Miller, aside from the few bits of anime work she's done, and I'm sure all of you know Lara Jill's voice. She was also the youngest daughter on Give Me a Break as well. A little bit of tidbit. So before becoming an anime voice actress, she was, let's see, had such a crush on her. Who did you have a crush on there, Dave? Was it Amy Jo Johnson or Lara Jill Miller? Which one of those did you have? I'm gonna guess that was probably Amy Jo Johnson, but anyways, that's what I get also for getting in late there. But on this date in 2000, which was 20 years ago today, Digimon the movie would premiere in movie theaters as produced by Fox Kids, Saban Entertainment, um, and Toei Animation. So now, oh, Amy Jo Johnson, I was lagging. Yep. Um, okay, so moving on now to our last bit of history here. This one, of course, in the realm of comics. On this date in 2010, the fifth issue of Avengers Academy from Marvel Comics went on newsstands. On this date in 2010, which was, of course, 10 years ago, the fifth issue of Avengers Academy went on newsstands with the story Fame, penned, of course, by Christos and Gage, penciler Jorge Medina, inker Andrew Hennessy, letterer Joe Carmagna, and Jeremy Cox doing the color. So on this date in 2010, going on the newsstands, the fifth issue of Avengers Academy. So, with all that being said, that is what all has happened on this day in each history. I thank you guys again for joining me. I know tonight we went a little short, but there are only a couple of news stories. It doesn't seem like there's a lot to talk about here, even with adding. But what I would hope you guys would do, I hope you will join me on doing a mic raid. Um, um, Doing a mic raid on Dude Tug's stream. Let's go say hello to Tug as we finish after we finish up here. Let's go say hi to Tug and and see what he's doing. So I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow night. I hope to see you guys in a few minutes in Tug's stream. So until then, bye.